Welcome back to Zubair IELTS, the channel where we help you prepare smarter, speak better, and score higher. Today's episode is for every student who has ever asked, what do Band 9 speakers actually do differently? Not what people claim online, not what random IELTS gurus say in comment sections, not what sounds impressive in theory. I mean what actually works when a real student sits in front of a real examiner and has to speak in real time. So I decided to test something, a speaking strategy that many high-level candidates use naturally and many average candidates completely miss. And the result? It was surprisingly simple. It was highly effective. And honestly, most students start using it far too late. To make this practical, I'm joined once again by Aisha, who's going to help me test this strategy live. Aisha, welcome back.
Thank you, Zubair. I'm excited for this one because I think a lot of students hear the words Band 9 strategy and immediately imagine something very difficult.
Exactly. And that's the first myth we need to break. Because what actually works in IELTS speaking is often not more complicated. It's just more controlled, more natural, and more intelligent. So today, I'm going to show you the Band 9 style strategy I tested, why it works, how Aisha uses it, and how you can apply it in your own speaking practice from today. Let's get into it. Aisha, when students hear the phrase Band 9 speaking strategy, what do you think they usually imagine?
Probably advanced vocabulary, perfect grammar, difficult idioms, and speaking without a single pause.
Exactly. Most students imagine Band 9 as some kind of superhuman performance, like you need perfect pronunciation, zero hesitation, rare vocabulary, and answers that sound like TED Talks. But in reality, the strategy I tested was much simpler than that. Here it is. The strategy was this. Don't try to sound advanced first. Try to sound natural, direct, and fully developed first. That's it. And then build sophistication on top of that. Not the other way around.
So instead of starting with, how can I sound impressive, the question becomes, how can I give a clear, natural, complete answer?
Exactly. And that shift changes everything. Because many students build speaking answers backwards. They start with fancy phrases, memorized templates, difficult words, forced idioms, and then they try to squeeze their real answer inside all of that. But stronger speakers do the opposite. They start with meaning. Then they build fluency. Then they add range naturally. That's what I tested. And it worked much better than the impress the examiner approach. Segment 2. What I tested exactly. Zubair. So let me explain the test in a simple way. I compared two speaking styles. Style 1, the try to sound advanced style. This is the style most students copy from the internet. Long memorized openings, unnatural idioms, overcomplicated grammar, and answers that feel heavy. Style 2, the natural expansion style. This is the one I wanted to test more seriously. Answer directly, explain naturally, add a personal reason or example, and keep the rhythm smooth. And do you know what happened? The second style sounded more confident, more believable, more fluent, and much easier to follow, which is exactly what examiners respond to.
That makes sense because sometimes advanced answers actually sound less natural.
Exactly. And in IELTS speaking, unnatural language often becomes a hidden problem. You might think you sound smart, but the examiner may hear memorization, poor flexibility, awkward wording, and less genuine fluency. That's why this strategy matters. Segment 3. Live example, bad version versus strong version. Zubair, let's test it live. Aisha, here's the question. Do you enjoy shopping? First, answer in the way many students do when they're trying too hard to sound high level.
Okay. Yes, definitely. I am really keen on shopping because it is not only a beneficial activity, but also a source of relaxation for me. Whenever I feel exhausted, I usually prefer to go shopping in order to refresh my mood.
Good. That's realistic. Many students speak like that. Now, is it terrible? No. But does it sound fully natural? Not really. Now try the same answer using the tested strategy. Direct answer, natural explanation, small example, personal touch.
Yes, I do, especially when I need a break from studying. I wouldn't say I'm someone who shops all the time, but I enjoy it now and then because it helps me relax a little. For example, I sometimes go out with my friends on the weekend just to browse and maybe buy something small, and I usually enjoy that experience.
Much better. Why? Because this answer sounds real, balanced, specific, and flexible. Not forced, not memorized, not overloaded. This is what actually works. So let me break the tested strategy into a simple formula. Band 9 style strategy. 1. Answer the question clearly. Don't avoid it. Don't circle around it. Don't start with a memorized line. Just answer. 2. Develop the answer. Naturally add a reason. Add context. Show the examiner you can continue. 3. Personalize it. Give a small example, habit, opinion, or real-life detail. That last part is powerful because personal details make your answer sound more authentic and easier to extend.
So the goal isn't to make every answer sound academic? It's to make every answer sound complete and natural?
Exactly. IELTS speaking is not a competition for the fanciest sentence. It's a test of spoken communication, and that includes fluency, coherence, lexical resource, grammar, and pronunciation. Official IELTS public band descriptors emphasize fluent, coherent topic development, flexible vocabulary use, range in grammar, and pronunciation that is easy to understand IELTS. Now, here's why this strategy performed so well, because it solves the biggest problems most students have. Problem 1, freezing. When students try to sound impressive, they often freeze looking for perfect words. Problem 2, short answers. When students don't know how to expand naturally, they stop too early. Problem 3, memorized tone. When students depend on templates, their answers start sounding robotic. Problem 4, grammar collapse. When students force complex grammar in every sentence, accuracy drops. But this strategy fixes all of that. Because instead of asking, how do I sound advanced? You ask, how do I keep the answer moving naturally? That mindset instantly makes your speaking more stable.
So it's not just a high band strategy. It's also a confidence strategy.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. Because when your structure is simple and natural, your confidence goes up. And when confidence goes up, fluency improves too. All right, let's test another question. Do you prefer studying alone or with others? First, give me a basic answer, without much development. I prefer studying alone because I can focus more. Good. Now let's apply the strategy. Step 1, clear answer. Step 2, natural explanation. Step 3, personal example. Try again.
I prefer studying alone because I can focus much better that way. When I study with other people, I sometimes get distracted, especially if we start chatting instead of working. For example, when I'm preparing for an IELTS test, I find it easier to sit by myself in a quiet room and follow my own pace.
Excellent. Now listen to what happened there. You didn't use difficult vocabulary. You didn't force an idiom. You didn't pretend to be someone else. But the answer sounded stronger. That is exactly what I mean by what actually works. Now let's talk about a dangerous mistake. Once students hear Band 9, they often think, I need to make every answer perfect. And that thought is actually harmful, because perfect is not the target. Control is the target. Natural fluency is the target. Consistent quality is the target. Even very strong speakers may pause briefly, self-correct occasionally, or reformulate an idea. That's normal spoken language. The difference is that they do it smoothly and keep going.
So, if a student pauses once or corrects themselves, it doesn't mean they failed?
Exactly. Students often panic over one tiny hesitation. But one hesitation is not the issue. The issue is when hesitation keeps breaking the answer, or when the speaker can't develop ideas clearly. That's why this strategy works so well, because it reduces panic, because you focus on communication first. Let me tell you what actually gave the answer that high-level feeling. It was not one magical phrase. It was a combination of smaller things. Natural pacing. Not too fast, not too slow. Clear structure. The answer moved from point to point logically. Flexible vocabulary. Simple words, but used well. Relevant details. The speaker didn't just answer, they developed. Calm confidence. No desperate attempt to impress. That combination created the impression of a genuinely strong speaker. And honestly, that's what higher bands sound like. Not big English, but controlled English. The IELTS assessment guidance also encourages learners to understand the differences between band scores and the criteria examiners use when judging speaking performance. British Council. Aisha, let's say a student is listening right now and thinking, so should I stop learning vocabulary? What would you say? Exactly. Vocabulary absolutely matters. But the vocabulary that works best is natural, accurate, flexible, and easy for you to use under pressure. For example, instead of forcing rare phrases, learn better ways to express normal ideas. Instead of saying very good, you can say really effective, surprisingly helpful, worth trying, quite enjoyable, or a lot more practical. That's the kind of vocabulary growth that actually improves speaking, because it fits naturally into real answers. Now, let's make this useful for everyone watching. If you want to practice this strategy at home, do this. Step 1, take any IELTS Part 1 question. For example, do you enjoy reading? Do you like your hometown? Do you work better in the morning? Step 2, record a short answer. Don't overthink it. Step 3, check 3 things. Ask yourself, did I answer clearly? Did I explain naturally? Did I add a personal detail or example? Step 4, repeat once. Not 10 times, just once with improvement. That's how real progress happens. Not by memorizing 50 model answers, but by training your speaking system to build answers in real time.
I really like that because it feels practical and repeatable.
Exactly. A good strategy should be something students can actually use daily, and this one is. So after testing this strategy, here's my honest conclusion. What actually works in IELTS speaking is this: answer directly, develop naturally, personalize intelligently, and stay relaxed enough to keep your fluency. That's the real difference maker. Not memorized elegance, not fake sophistication, not impossible perfection. Just strong, natural, flexible communication. And yes, when a speaker does this consistently, it creates the kind of performance people describe as Band 8 or even Band 9 style.
So the real secret is that high band speaking sounds more natural than most students expect.
So the real secret is that high band speaking often sounds more natural than most students expect. And once you understand that, your preparation becomes much smarter. If this episode helped you, then do this right now. First, subscribe to Zubair IELTS because this channel is built to help you improve with real strategy, not random advice. Second, comment below. Natural answers win. I want to see who actually understood the lesson from today. And third, share this video with a friend who is still trying to memorize Band 9 answers from the internet, because that habit may be slowing them down more than they realize. And if you want, in the next episode, I can create a full breakdown on 5 answers that sound Band 9 and 5 that sound memorized. I'm Zubair, this is Zubair IELTS, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep improving.